Jai Gurudev, everybody. So, like I was saying earlier, today is Ram Navami, the birthday of Lord Rama, and we celebrated in a very simple way and easy way the birthday of Rama. I was saying to them earlier, it's the first time that we have celebrated Ram Navami in such a very simple, very not many people way. Because every year for Ram Navami we celebrate it really grand. And it was nice, it was very sweet also. Like I was saying earlier, it's the first time that we celebrate Ram Navami according to the time which Ram had been born, especially being here in Vrindavan itself. It's a great blessing. And yeah, right now you can hear all the ashram around, they are all singing, which is back to Vrindavan how it was, not quite Vrindavan. So it's really vibrant and really nice actually, to hear all the ashram, all the chanting going on around. See, Lord Rama came around some 10,000 years ago here. He was born here. And as a great king, he have done a lot. He have bring that knowledge to the people, how to live, how to care for each another, and so on. And he was a personality which everybody look. You see, when we look at his life, he suffered a lot, yes, but he suffered to keep his word also, which he have given his father, and inspired many, throughout all these years. Why Ramayana have been, let's say, praised, because you see, like you can hear many stories of many people. Does that story make an impact upon? Many people can write many stories, but Valmiki, what he wrote, why did this make an impact upon the people? Why the life of a great one like Lord Krishna, Lord Buddha, and so on, have make an impact upon people? Why we still look upon their life as something inspiring? Because they have not lived their life for themselves, firstly. They have lived the life as a service to humanity, as a reminder of humanity. What is life about, really? Not just the superficial living that everybody goes through. But no, it has created deep impact upon the life of each one, and it will always do create an impact upon those who hear the Ramayana and go deeper into that. It will touch and change something within. Whereas when you hear other stories of very great personalities also, but it don't make any difference upon your life. It don't touch the core of you inside. That's why these great epics, they carry a certain vibration. In the Hindu tradition, we say that God is also in the form of scriptures. God is in the form of the holy scriptures. We have that respect for the scriptures, because that scriptures is compared to other books. The scriptures transform a human being from a normal, mundane human being into divine. Of course, we should not look at these scriptures from an intellectual point of view, because when we look at it from an intellectual point of view, especially in the West, very often people have a certain other kind of notion of things in place of appreciating and go and dive within it. No, they have to analyze it, they have to understand it. Okay, you analyze it, you understand it, what will that do to you? Will that change anything in you? No, it will not. Because you are looking at it from an intellectual point of view. You see, your intellect, your mind, and that wisdom itself is all limited by the realm of material reality. So you understand it in a material way. So that's why by reading it, by listening to the scriptures, you have to really dive within your heart. Let that mind dive deep inside. Then you will have a different understanding. Then you will have the transformation. So I will ask Swami Revati to ask the question.
Jai Gurudev Guruji, it is so nice to see you every day and give satsang to all of us in these times especially. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this. So my question is, you have often asked people, what do you want? And many people have given different answers. Even in the Shastras, this question has been asked in many situations. When Prahlad was asked this question, he replied he did not want anything. Is there ever a right answer to this question?
Well, Prahlad said, the answer itself, in your question you said, you see, asking is a very human way. When somebody come and ask you, what do you want? Automatically, you have in the back of your mind, I want something. No? So, that want itself limits the whole possibility of what God is willing to give you. That's why when Prahlad said to Nrsingadev, why, what do you want? 3 times he repeat that question. For sure, Prahlad Maharaj said, oh my goodness, I'm telling you, Baba, I don't want anything. What is, you, the Supreme Lord himself have come, you have come out from a wall in such a terrifying way. You have killed my father. What else can I ask you? Out of mercy you give unwillingly, and asked you give to your devotee, and now you're asking me what I want. I'm telling you I don't want anything. So the answer from Prahlad is very powerful and very strong. Even if Bhagavan, he knows that everybody have a certain want. Everybody, even the sages, the rishis, whenever they do their penance, all these things, it's always for something. Some people pray, oh, give me this or give me that. At the back of the mind, we always ask for something. Oh, give me intelligence, give me knowledge, give me this and give me that. No. But actually, what we have to learn is that whatever His will be, let it happen. Do you think by asking and asking, of course you will receive, said, ask you shall receive. He will give you. He's an abundance of grace, an abundance of mercy. He will give you until you really realize what you are here for. Bhagavan Krishna in the Gita, he said it, chapter 10, verse 10 actually. He beautifully put it, those whose mind is surrendered to me with loving devotion, I pour the grace upon them. I give them that grace of wisdom, that grace of knowledge by which they can attain me. It is very beautifully said, you see. In this itself, chapter 10, verse 10, Bhagavan Krishna have given everything into that. He said it's not about asking. Because what you ask, your mind, your intellect, even that understanding of that wisdom which you received is all limited by the realm of this reality. So when you say you understand something only to a certain point of understanding, which is in a limited way. So your asking is also based upon a limited way. So here he said, those whose mind is surrendered to me in loving devotion, that mind have to transform into devotion. What is devotion? Devotion is about surrendering oneself. If here, say, okay, yes, I am doing my puja to my deity, I'm surrendering. No. That mind must surrender. As long as that mind don't surrender, that grace doesn't come. So he said that those whose mind is surrendered in loving devotion to me, so that mind which have transformed is not longer I who want to understand something. It's no longer I want to do something. It's not longer that I want something from you, Lord. It's not that because I'm having devotion to you, because I want something from you. I'm ready, to accept whatever you pour upon me. It is a very powerful, even if it don't sound that strong, actually it is very powerful. You see, what power does it take to accept everything from God? It is a very powerful thing, because you see, very often we say, yes, I want this God and I want that God. I love you, God, and I will accept everything. But the moment He tests you, then you see how much loving you have for Him, how much acceptance you have for Him. So that's why He said, you see, people ask and ask. They don't know what they are asking. Even when they say, sometimes back, one person say, I want God. Yes, everybody wants God. Tell me, who don't want God? The whole incarnation of you being here is for attaining of God. But are you ready to receive Him? Can you handle Him? This is another point. You see, and also one thing is that, yes, we keep asking, we want God, we want this, we want that. But we have to understand that to have Him is only by His grace. Our own effort is useless into that. One can meditate, one can chant, can do whatever. What you can do is only transform your mind, making your mind a loving service to Him. But for Him to pour His grace upon you is entirely upon His own will. And when He sees that you are ready, He will grace you with that. That's why He said, but the second part of that, He said, I grace them with that knowledge, for they shall attain me. They can attain me. So which means there is some can attain and some cannot attain Him. How we receive that grace is very important. So asking, God, give me yourself, reveal yourself, all this, is not the right attitude. Just do your service and remember Him. Like coming back to the talk of Prahlad and Lord Nrsingadev. And it is such a beautiful talk, a very long talk that goes on, I don't know whether all this talk will come out from me now, but anyway. So, but one point, you see, Prahlad asked Nrsingadev, hey Prabhu, you're the Lord of the universe. Hey, address him as Prabhu. Tell me, what is a servant? What is the role of a servant? Here he asks Nrsingadev, look, a servant is here to please the master. Yes or no? Huh? Whatever the servant does is only to please the master. If you are a good servant, that is the dharma of a servant. Dasya bhav, those who have that servitude bhav inside of them, they are here to please the master. It's not about pleasing themselves, but about what the master wants. Then he said to him, look, whatever I have is all material, is all mine by limitation. No? So what can I offer to you which is not yours already? Everything is yours. I don't have anything to offer to you. And yet you're asking me to ask you something. I am your servant. How can I ask you something? You bestow upon me whatever it's pleasing to you. That is the role of a servant, to accept what the master. Here you see here I'm saying master. Please don't refer master as a slavery and how to say a slave. You know, a master and his slave. No, it's nothing to do with that. You see, when I'm saying about master right now, I'm saying about those who really care for the people. In Nrsingadev, no, because you see, in the mind of people, very often when you talk about master, and you see, I am your servant. You see, when we talk about servant, oh, shocking, especially in the mind, or in the Western mind. You see, they comprehend that to a colonial time, you know, that you have master and slavery. No, it's nothing to do with that. Because here also, the servant is offering themselves willingly. That willingness, I want to serve you. I don't have anything else, you know. And that willingness, it's not that I expect something from you. I am ready to give myself fully to you. That willingness of serving, compared to slavery, the slavery is different. That person is forced to serve, whether they want it or not, no. But here the servant, Dasya bhav, you know, Prahlad, Hanumanji, you know, they have that bhav inside them, I want to serve you. Only you, nobody else. So he said to Prahlad Maharaj said to Nrsingadev, you know, this is the role of a servant. I want to serve you, you know, I'm doing everything to serve you only. How can a servant ask something from the master? It can't. A servant, a good servant never asks anything from the master and accept everything what the master offers to them. So Nrsingadev, I agree with that. But again he asked the question, what do you want? What can I give you? I said, Baba, how can I make you understand? Then he said, okay, if you want to give me something, Prabhu, give me the blessing that I never ask anything from you. So he cornered Nrsingadev and he have asked. So he asked for a boon. He asked, he gave it. So Prahlad said, give me the blessing that I never ask anything of you. Which means that whatever you want, give it to me. I am yours and you are mine, you know. So there is no need of asking. That beloved Lord, you know, that who have sent each one here, He knows what is good for each one. So the best is to transform your mind and offer it to the Lord.
Guruji, in reading your Bhagavad Gita commentaries, I found the example of Saint Ramadasu. He refused to go to heaven so that he could continue to serve his Lord here on earth. In the case of Mirabai, she merged into the deity of Krishna and left this earth. As your devotees, we long to have eternal service to you, to be always at the feet of the Lord and having a personal loving relationship. So my question is it only being God realized here on earth that we can have a personal relationship with God and serve Him? And how is that different from the eternal relationship we have with God in Vaikuntha?
Look, different saints have different bhav inside of them. Now, a few days ago I was telling you. For some, like Ramadasu, he prayed to Lord Rama to let him be in the invisible world, but serving Sri Ram. So let's see the character of Ramadasu firstly. See, Ramadasu, his life was only to please Ram. You know, whatever he will do was for Ram. And for him, he doesn't see the difference between Ram in Bhadrachalam and Ram in Vaikuntha. Ram is Ram. So he don't say the Ram which I'm serving here in the deity of Bhadrachalam is less. They never see that. For him, whether it is in Vaikuntha or whether it is in Vaikuntha Bhadrachalam, is the same Ram which he is worshipping, he which is his serving. You know? So for Ramadasu to say, let me be here to serve, because he finds great happiness to enforce the bhakti through his service, through his prayer, into those who come to Bhadrachalam. You see, when you go to Bhadrachalam, last year we were there, it is such a wonderful place, you know, such an inspirational place also. Because in the personality of Bhadrachalam, you see, each places have a saint, and like in Bhadrachalam, Ramchandra Bhagavan have chosen Ramadasu. And through the example of a bhakta, you know, the word dasu, which is a servant, Ram's servant, we perceived that, yes, my life is not only for me, you know, my life is also a service to the humanity. Ram's life is also, he have set an example of a king, you know? A king which were here for his people. That's why Ramadasu said, I want also to be here for the people. So now we look at Meera. Meera have a different bhav in herself, you know. Meera's bhav is the loving bhav, you know. It's not that Ramadasu was not loving Rama. He was loving Rama. It was Dhasya bhav. But Meera wanted to be with her beloved. She also inspired people through her writing, through her poem. What it is when one is fully saturated with the Madhurya bhav. How it is, you know, what is happening in her heart to heart, you know. And this is amazing. It's not that she wanted to merge with Krishna. No. The Lord wanted her. Because you see, when Meera was singing, the Lord was dancing in front of her. Yeah. When Meera was writing, Bhagavan was listening to her. So when Meera was a time for her to disappear, when she was 83 years old, Bhagavan came out and reached with his hand to her and take her. Because such great souls is this material body, every aspect of her have transformed only into Bhagwan himself. So, how, what the devotee have to pray and how the devotee have to be, Look, all these great example of the saints is not about them. Again, coming to the first question, it's about their relationship to God. True saints have realized that, and they have rise to that state. I will not say understanding, because understanding is still limited. You understand many things today and tomorrow you forget about it. Now for them, it's more than just an understanding. So a devotee really should just follow what the Guru have been given to them. Even Meera was just following what her Guru, Rai Das, have told her. Just sing the name of Krishna, nothing else. That will be. We are not living in a time of that time now. We are living in a different era. We have to adapt it to this era, with a chanting of the name of God. And what mine is, leave it upon to Him, trust Him. Now, there's this beautiful story, and a beautiful, not story, what happened to Meera in his life. Once, Akbar and Tansen, Meera was, because she was like crazy, she was just singing the name of Krishna, nothing else. So Tansen and Akbar came in disguise, listening to this wonderful devotion, singing of Meera in Chittor. Chittor was under the family of Mirabai, which is the Rana family. So when they was in ecstatic bliss listening to Meera, and Tansen, which was a devotee of a great saint from Vrindavan, from Haridas Thakur, he also was a great singer. So he understand that bhav which Meera was in, and he wanted so much that Akbar came and see. So as they were pleased, so they were leaving, Akbar touched the feet of Meera, and he placed a pearl necklace at the feet of the deity. So when the Rana heard about that, he became so furious, and he felt disgrace actually. Why Meera have not said anything? But for a bhakta, which is so humble, this doesn't matter. Those who come to the feet of the Lord, it doesn't matter which religion you are. He called you. Who am I to stop to say anything? So the Rana called Meera and said, you have been a disgrace to my family. You should go and drown yourself. And don't ever show me your face again. Go and drown yourself. So Meera took it as an order. And she went to the nearby river, ready to drown herself, when a hand from behind pulled her. Not just pull her, grab her. When she turned, she saw her beloved Giridhari, and she fainted. Few minutes later, she woke up, and Giridhar Gopal was looking at her, and he said to her, my beloved, The life with this material husband of yours is finished. Your duty to him is done. You are mine. And he said to her, go to Vrindavan. Go in this little gullies. Find me there. So Mira came without delay to Vrindavan. And he and she went around singing the name of Krishna. And in this Vrindavan that she found everything. So, you see, Ramadasu also, before he disappeared, actually he also disappeared. He didn't die. So he also wanted to kill himself because his wife had darshan of Ram and he didn't have. So he felt great pity inside of him. So he went up on the mountain, took a knife and was ready to cut. He cut himself. And when the moment he cut himself, opened his heart, Ram and Sita came out. And like Mira have become one with his beloved, like that also, Ramadasu have become one with his Ram, which is everywhere. So that loving service of the Lord carries on, whether it is for Mira or for Ramadasu or for any saint who have attained that grace of the Lord. And the devotee should only do their service, with the mind focused upon the feet of Guru and God, nothing else. Because you see, like I said, whatever, if you ask something, you have a certain way of looking at it in a limited way. And then you will go into your fantasy and all this stuff. No. Just do your loving service to Guru and God. The rest, He will look after. He will take care.
Guruji, thank you for being with us in this way. There have been times in the past that my relationship with the Lord felt more intimate than it does now, even though I have been consistent in doing my sadhana. Does this mean I have gone backwards on the path, or is it normal for there to be some variation in how close to God a bhakta's heart feels at certain times or stages of life?
Look, again, this question is also similar, and it's normal. Because at the beginning, very often, people have a certain enthusiasm when they go on the spiritual path. And due to that enthusiasm, how long do you can keep that enthusiastic feeling? You don't. Because you have your daily routine, you have your daily life to goes on with it. It's a normal reaction that at the beginning you could feel strongly this vibration, this feeling, all these things. But then later on, it diminished. It's not that you lost it, or it's not that it disappeared, or it vanished. No, it is still there. So that loving relationship, like I said, it is always there. There is no time which it was not there, because this is not just now, which is what it is, how you feel about. It's not just pop in from somewhere, It must come from some places where it was, no? So who put it there? Since when you have it there? So only when Bhagavan revealed itself and say, yes, it is time now, I claim you back, you belong to me. So He removed that veil which separate, this reality and Him. So you can feel him a little bit. But just to feel him a little bit, it's like giving you a wonderful sweet to eat, which you want more. Once you have tasted his love, you will want more. But to want more, you must work for it. You must really transcend your ego and pride. Because he will not just give himself just like that, you know. So only when there is no pride and ego, then he reveals himself.
Guruji, how is it possible that some people are on the spiritual path, they appear so dedicated and they do so much and so on, and then suddenly they just simply fall off the path out of a sudden? What is the reason and purpose? And more importantly, what can we do to avoid this happening to us?
Yeah, this is a sad reality that very often you see people. Lately I've been experiencing that also. Not in me, I'm talking about some of the people around me, which were very dear to me. And it's true, they appeared very spiritual and very dedicated and so on. And yet, then later on, they just show a different aspect of themselves. So, it is, I think, from what I think, it is a normal human reaction. Because very often people, you see, when they are on the spiritual path, they like to pretend to be more what they are, really. Especially if you are wearing this color or other colors, you know. Very often the ego also takes place. And the ego is very subtle, you know. It's always at the back of the mind, dancing. And it can happen, but you know, they can appear very holy and very, how to say, dedicated upon the path. But you see, the misunderstanding is that when people take these people as example, and this is sad, you know, the mind then they become very, how to say, oh yes, he's like this, or her, she's like that. We should listen to them, or this and that. No. You should not listen to them, you should not take them as example, you should take the Guru as an example only. What your Guru said to you, that's what you have to say. If you follow the word of the Guru, that will not happen. So this will happen only when people start looking at them and thinking that, oh, these people are great personality because which color clothes they wear, or how they are dedicated, how they are, how to say, appear to be, you know. No. Then you are not following the Guru, you are following them. So, if you really want not to fall from where, just follow what the Guru tells you. And also one thing is, it's a normal human way, you know. Sometimes people do fall from grace. Until they realize their mistake one day in life, they will come back. Because the grace of God is very merciful, you know. So, don't confuse what I'm saying right now, saying that God doesn't love them or Guru doesn't love them. No, Guru loves them, you know, and care for them. It's just that they never see that, you know. They see it only from their personal viewpoint, you know. I, my, and mine, mine, you know. Then this is the thing. When you're on the spiritual path, that three things you should remove, you know. Especially if you are more closer in your service, you know, and if you, especially when you know that people look at you as an example, you should be very, how to say, you should be very observant about that towards yourself. So if you are observant towards yourself, then there is not a possibility of that. So there's much more to talk about that, but I think that is enough right now. Finish? Okay, Jai Gurudev, everybody.